This summer, we are going to be traveling through Europe for 2 months, visiting some familiar places, but more excitingly, exploring a whole new set of countries. But instead of flying over the Atlantic, we chose to sail across by a transatlantic cruise.
We are on the ship.
We arrived in England and spent a week driving around the villages along the Cornish coast. We then head south to Turkey and spend 4 days seeing the sights and eating our way through Istanbul.
Wow, it's pretty incredible.
And then explore the otherworldly landscapes of Cappadocia.
Now we know why they call it Love Valley.
We then head north to the former countries of the Soviet bloc. Our first stop is the Stoic capital of Sofia, Bulgaria.
And then we have, which I've never seen before, a statue, a monument to a car.
We travel on to Romania and experience both its capital, Bucharest, as well as the smaller towns and countryside of this beautiful country.
It feels like it's very, very storybook, almost like I'm walking through a Disneyland.
Before heading to the elegant yet humble city of Budapest, Hungary.
We got some beers.
And ending our Eastern Bloc tour in the country of Slovakia and its charming capital, Bratislava. We cross the border into the west and visit Austria before heading to France to catch our flight home. From serene scenic lakes to the bustle of Vienna, we drive, boat, slide, and ride our way across Austria.
It's nice.
Before ending our trip in the lavender fields of Provence and the beaches of the Côte d'Azur.
How long have you been dreaming of this?
I don't know, but it's sure good.
Mixing old and new, comfortable in the unknown, we hope to have a bunch of new experiences and a lot of fun along the way. After 12 days on board our transatlantic cruise and a week touring around the coastal and inland towns of Cornwall, we headed to Heathrow Airport, excited to visit a new country.
Somewhere around 11.
11?
Yeah.
So we have about an hour.
About an hour.
Sweet.
Heading to our gate.
Well, thanks very much indeed for getting to the aircraft nicely on time and getting yourselves all set.
While only a 4-hour flight, the travel day was a full one. Upon landing, it was time for dinner before heading to bed so we could be ready for our food tour tomorrow. For our first day in Istanbul, we wanted to get a proper introduction to Turkish food, and what better way to taste all the flavors than on a food tour. We started at a market specializing in fresh meats, cheeses, and dairy, picking up a few provisions including the bagel-like simit before sitting down for a traditional Turkish breakfast. Made up of multiple dishes, a Turkish breakfast includes everything from olives to eggs to sausage and spreads. We all agreed that the trio of hazelnut and pistachio spreads were the best. Istanbul's food is inspired by its position at the crossroads of East and West. Asian, Middle Eastern, and Western spices, ingredients, and styles influence every food imaginable from street food to the highest level of restaurants. We could also taste the love and passion put into each dish. Leaving the bustling harbor Eminönü where we had breakfast, the tour continued in Kapadokya on the other side of Istanbul. Getting there meant we had to take the ferry across the Bosphorus Strait, which splits Istanbul in two, Europe on the north side and Asia on the south. As the gateway to the Black Sea, it's a very busy body of water, with cargo ships, cruise ships, tourist boats everywhere. It's also easy to cross from one side to the other with cheap, fast, and frequent ferries.
Made it to Asia.
Over the next 6 hours, we visited 8 more food stops, a mix of grab-and-go taste as well as sit-down restaurants. One of the highlights was lunch at Iskandar Kebab, a family restaurant which had been in business for over 150 years and originated a kebab covered in a special brown butter sauce, which was absolutely delicious. There are many restaurants in Istanbul that offer this dish, but this is the original and best.
We're doing shots.
Yummy. Find out. That was good.
Doing a food tour is a great way to experience the culture of a country, and we ended our tour stuffed and needing to walk. We wandered around the Kapadokya neighborhood and even managed to get my hair cut.
So I got my haircut here in Turkey, here in Istanbul, and I think it looks pretty good. Pretty happy with it. Guy gave me a quick little shave as well, tidied that up, so pretty happy.
Still full, but hot, we were thirsty and found the perfect place to have a beer, a Lord of the Rings themed pub. As we sailed back across the Bosphorus, it was promising to be a beautiful sunset, and we headed to a rooftop bar with 360-degree views of Istanbul to enjoy it with a cocktail.
Had a great day today on our food tour. Tried all sorts of different things. We were stuffed. I will say, now that it's been several hours, we've done a lot more walking. I could go for a snack.
While yesterday we focused on food, this morning we focused on religion. As a Muslim country, mosques play a central role in Turkish daily life. Based on the position of the sun, the call to prayer happens 5 times a day, echoing across the city. Non-Muslims can only visit mosques in between these prayer times. Our plan was to visit the Blue Mosque, which had just reopened after a multi-year renovation, the Hagia Sofia, and the Süleymaniye Mosque. Like any other houses of worship, mosques come in various sizes. 3 we were visiting were large, and while we knew they were big, we were still surprised by the scale. Video and pictures don't do them justice. We were lucky that the Blue Mosque had just reopened a couple days before, as we had been warned to expect it closed. Walking up to it, you enter a large colonnaded courtyard with a fountain in the center. Upon entering the central prayer hall, our breath was taken away.
Wow.
Named the Blue Mosque because of the blue Iznik tiles on the walls, it has another unique feature: 6 minarets. Most mosques have only 4. Moving on to reach the next mosque, the Hagia Sofia, we cross to the other end of Sultan Hamid Park. Separating the two mosques, the park is a beautiful place to relax and soak up their grandeur. Blown away by the Blue Mosque, both its size and its ornate bright interior, we were not prepared for the difference of the Hagia Sophia. Originally built as a Christian church in 537 BC, it became a mosque in 1453 during the conquest of Constantinople by the Ottoman Empire. While it still serves as a mosque today, its grand basilica-style architecture and some Christian mosaics still survive. Well,
Wow, it's pretty incredible.
just outside the Sultan Hamid Park is the Basilica Cistern, an underground cave that was ancient Istanbul's primary water source and storage. Capable of holding almost 21 million gallons of water, today you can wander around its 336 marble columned interior.
It's like a light show.
Leaving the Basilica Cistern, we walk through the site of the old Hippodrome, a massive stadium that once held over 30,000 people, passing a 1400 BC Egyptian obelisk and an ancient Greek serpent column from around 350 BC, before sitting down for some lunch.
So we have some fresh made bread here. I saw in the back the guy making it in the oven, rolling it out, baking it in a wood-fired oven. A little bit of hummus.
As there was an afternoon prayer happening, we had some time before visiting our last mosque. Though we had heard it was rife with pickpocketers, aggressive sales tactics, and the stores were repetitive, we ventured over to the Grand Bazaar. We couldn't come to Istanbul and not check it out. The bazaar covers over 7 acres and holds over 4,000 shops and 61 covered streets. Opened in 1455, it's known as one of the first shopping malls in the world.
And lots of jewelry store.
While it was worth a visit, prices seemed higher and more probably you would find a better deal elsewhere. The last stop on our mosque tour was the Süleymaniye the Great Mosque. Perched on a hill, it has amazing views of the Golden Horn and Galata across the way. Süleymaniye was the longest running sultan in the Ottoman Empire, and the mosque also holds him and his family's tombs. Like the Blue Mosque, it was light and airy inside, as well as less crowded. It was very peaceful and a perfect way to cap our mosque tour. We're about to go do the hammam, and we just got through with Jason how it all works. We'll see how he does, see how we do, and it should be a fun experience. If nothing else, it'll be a culturally new experience for us, so excited to go do it. Okay, I've got the towel wrapped around me. I'm about to go into hammam. This will be interesting. I thought we had something in the light garment we wore underneath, but apparently not. It's just a towel. We shall see. This will be fun. Very Turkish experience.
2 hours later.
So just finished the hammam experience, and oh my gosh, so wonderful, so relaxed. We go first into this hot steam room and we sit there, and the walls are what's heated and where the heat's coming from. And you just sit in these marble slabs for 15, 20 minutes. The guy comes and gets you and brings you out, and he pours some warm water on you, and then he has you lay down, and that's where the massage part starts, or the scrub starts, and they're scrubbing you with this loofah, and I can't imagine, I mean, it sounds disgusting, but all the dead skin and all that stuff that came off of me. And then there's a bubble bath part of it, and that's just like when the bubbles, he has this towel thing that he puts on, the bubbles on, and then he puts that down on top of you, and it just feels like a pillow, like a very light pillow of bubbles that are just over you. And then there's a scrub down, which was quite vigorous. And then after that, there was a massage on all the various parts, which was amazing. And then hot water, cold water rinses alternating, and it felt so good, so relaxing. And then afterwards, we had a little tea service, so some Turkish tea, some Turkish delights, some peanut or nuts, and then some dried apricots, dried fruit. And it was just a real nice way to sort of rend into the hammam experience. So now I gotta get dressed, gotta go see how Ruth did. So?
I didn't want to come out.
I know, right? Do you like it?
I did. I did. I think there's a lot more options, right?
What do you mean?
You can do different services, like a spa, I think.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah. Next time we'll do more.
Freshly clean, it was time for sunset, and on the Karaköy side of Istanbul is the Galata Tower. Built in 1267, it's 215 feet tall with epic 360-degree views of Istanbul. Tired from a long day, we called it a night. After yesterday's long day of sightseeing, we were a little tired and got a late start. We kicked off our day revisiting the dairy market to pick up some of the hazelnut and pistachio spreads, as well as some simmet for a little picnic breakfast.
Breakfast of champions right here. Can't wait to dig in. I am going here. So this is like the clotted cream with honey. Ooh.
While we did a quick walkthrough on our food tour, we revisited the spice market. A much smaller bazaar than the Grand Bazaar, it still felt touristy and overpriced. I also wouldn't buy any of their stacked Turkish delights, as we saw multiple people touching or arranging them with their bare hands for photos. Just around the corner from the spice market sits a mosque that we had intended to visit yesterday, but ran out of time. The Rustam Pasha Mosque is a small mosque tucked behind the labyrinth streets of Ermenonyu and is known for its colorful tiles. We quickly regarded this as our favorite mosque. After having seen all the main sites we wanted to see, we had a free afternoon and headed back to Kapadokya to wander around a bit more and have dinner, ending back at Iskandar Kebab. Stuffed from dinner, and while waiting for the ferry, we were able to catch the sunset. As we took the ferry back over for the last time, we were so happy we had come to Istanbul. The history, the food, and the culture exceeded our expectations. We saw a lot, but realized there is a lot more to see here, and we look forward to coming back again. The end of our time in Istanbul was also the end of our time with Jason, as he continued his European trip in Paris.
On our way. I'm so excited for this.
But first,
the lounge. So just in case we're missing something from home, they have.
nah, let's go to the lounge.
Yeah.
We arrived in Cappadocia, picked up a rental car, and drove to Goreme, where we'd be staying for the next 3 nights. Goreme is central to all the major sites in Cappadocia, with plenty of restaurants, shops, tour operators, and of course, hotels. We had booked a cave hotel and our room was really like being in a cave, complete with cave dust. We checked in and grabbed some dinner. While the dinner looked better than it tasted, watching the dog play outside made it much better.
The balloon's called. We're on for tomorrow.
We got up at 4 a.m. to meet the shuttle taking us to the balloon launch site. Weather conditions have to be just right for the balloons, and the day before launches were canceled because of high winds. We had been nervous that our departure wouldn't happen, but the conditions couldn't have been more perfect. My God. "30 minutes before sunrise, 100 balloons lift off, and another 65 lift off an hour later, making this the largest daily balloon launch on Earth." That is phenomenal. Wow. I feel like we're super low.
900 meters. That's why most of them on the ground level, to make the flight longer.
Smiley face on top.
$1,000 meters from the ground. Yeah, they're down there. Yeah. Modern transportation and ancient transportation. Good tip over. Let us go. Let us keep going.
Go longer.
Keep going.
3, 2, 1.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. A little easier getting in.
I want to do it again. Can we do it again, please?
Bye-bye.
2, 1.
Still buzzing from the balloon ride, we headed back to the hotel for a quick rest, breakfast, and then jumped in the car to start exploring. First stop, Love Valley. We have our tour leaders here, telling us the way to get to Love Valley. The Cappadocia region is dotted with fairy chimneys reaching up to 100 feet in the air. They are formed from volcanic ash and sedimentary rock and have been carved by erosion to their current form that looks like...
Now we know why they call it Love Valley.
Love Valley is free to park, enter, and wander around, and has a cute local cafe amongst the fairy chimneys. A short drive away is the old town of Kavusin. Crumbling and falling apart, it's hard to believe people lived here up until the 1960s.
Our new home. We're buying a cave house.
they plugged holes here where obviously there were gaps between the main rock and their wall. Just down the road is the more organized and commercialized Passabaj Valley. With a paid entrance and hordes of tour bus groups, it's the opposite of Love Valley's enchanting calm. Still, we were able to find some quieter areas. So while this is very similar to what we were just in on the other side of the valley, this is more of a tourist actual destination, and they've got ticket sales, and we have tour buses, we have lots of tourists. It's a lot more crowded here.
So this is another area of the Love Valley that we're in. They look similar, but what you can see on these, you can see how they were actual houses with the little rooms and windows and caves dug out of the side of them. It's pretty cool.
Kind of reminds us a little bit of Bryce Canyon back in Utah, but this is unique, and especially where people were living. And I know some of the Indian tribes back at home, they lived in mountainsides and whatnot, but the structure of these is what's really kind of cool. Anybody home? It's a small home. After a quick lunch at Mickey D's, our final stop was the Zelv Open Air Museum. Dating from the 500s, Zelv was a Byzantine-era troglodyte settlement that was later Christianized. Much is unknown about this village, but at one point there was a mosque, a church, and multiple family dwellings. The last residents were forced out in the 1950s due to unsafe conditions because of erosion. Like the other places we visited today, we were free to wander around with only a few places roped off as too dangerous.
Can't believe people lived here.
This crack right here, that's going to be coming down. But right above, you have this arched window in the hallway there. Pretty cool. This is how they collected water. Water would come in from here and then pool in this well. And that's how they collected water, rainwater. With a storm fast approaching and feeling tired from an early start, as well as a long day of touring, we headed back to the hotel to rest. We got up at sunrise to watch the balloons lift off. The launch site seemed much closer this morning than yesterday, and we felt surrounded by them. From the ground, it was amazing to see all of them take off and float by. After going back to bed and having some breakfast, we jumped in the car for our final day in Cappadocia. While we had seen stunning topography above ground, there was something cool we had to check out that lies underneath.
So, given that it's so hot, it would be nice to be underground. Hopefully it's not too crowded.
The Makili underground city is one of over 200 underground cities in the Cappadocia region. Built during the 7th and 8th century BC, it features over 150 tunnels and goes down 8 levels, housing over 3,500 people and protecting them from invaders. Besides homes, the city had stables, wine cellars, bakeries, and chapels. Rediscovered in 1963, it became a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1985.
Coffee in my living room.
Unfortunately, there's no bar at the top here.
Where's the bar? There is no bar. It's right there. Piece of stone.
Yeah, we're back to where we were. This is how high. I have to really bend over to get through here. Oh my lord. My knees don't want to bend this low. Oh, we're supposed to go that way? I don't know why they call this a tunnel. All of this is tunnels. They cleared that one specifically a tunnel. There's a ventilation shaft. And it goes down at least 100 feet.
Built for defense in the 15th and 16th centuries, the Ushasar Castle is perched high on a hill. While we could have paid to climb and go inside, we decided to just wander around the base. It's quiet and there's not many people here, which is great. So we can just kind of wander around, and it's free. 20 lira to park, $1. And everybody's on the other side climbing up to the top of the castle, up there. And we get to wander around the base for free. Not bad. What do you think?
This is really cool. I love this.
It's quiet. There's not many people here, which is nice. As we wandered around, we were invited to visit a typical fairy house. Modernized with some comforts like electricity, the owners are one of a few who still live in these style homes. We toured the house and learned more about the area, as well as living in a fairy chimney.
Yellow.
They're so pretty.
Look at this one.
Yeah. That's the yellow.
Oh, yeah.
It's how sun.
Hey, son.
Yeah.
Hello.
I have 2.
apple tea?
I'll try apple tea.
You want to try apple tea? I'll try apple tea. We then enjoyed some tea on the house balcony with a $1 million view of the castle. Little tea for two.
That was a really nice experience. I'm really glad we came across it.
On the way back to our hotel, we hit a viewpoint overlooking the town of Goreme before sitting down for a traditional clay pot cooked dinner and celebrating Ruth's birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
No singing, no singing.
As we sat on the balcony overlooking the town, we felt so grateful for our time in Turkey. The people, the food, and of course the sights, both in Istanbul and here in Cappadocia, exceeded our expectations.
I want to do it again. Can we do it again, please?
While we look forward to returning and exploring more of this fascinating country, it was time to move on. Tomorrow we head behind the former Iron Curtain to Bulgaria and Romania.